can you imagine a classic cartoon episode that's eerily similar to a horror movie? Um, Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button for more content. As a child of the 80s, I vividly remember, the terror that John Carpenter's The Thing instilled in me and my peers. Um, Fast forward to the present, and I find myself reminiscing about those old times while watching The Real Adventures of Jonny Quest DNA Doomsday episode. Is The Thing, a 1982 film, was initially met with criticism upon its release due to its striking visuals and pervasive suspicion. However, it later gained immense popularity when it was released on home video and aired on television. Given that The Thing was eventually recognized as one of the greatest horror and sci-fi films ever made, it's not surprising that several of its stark elements had been done unadult with other Hollywood productions that would have in the 8th episode of the first season of The X-Files, a respectful yet subdued tribute was made, whereas the 1997 episode of Sam and Max Freelance Police took a drastic opposite approach, featuring two humorous animal characters attempting to capture another creature. Let's look at a timeless Hanna-Barbera cartoon, The Real Adventures of Jonny Quest, which consistently pushed boundaries. Not only did they adapt The Thing in a serious manner, but they also put their unique spin on split face, and first aired on Cartoon Network in 1996. The Real Adventures of Jonny Quest aimed to continue the storylines from the 60s and 80s versions. The creators, Hanna-Barbera's presidents, intended to make it as realistic as possible. But children preferred shows with more fantastical elements. One common instance of this occurred during the second season, specifically in an episode named DNA Doomsday. Upon viewing, you'll immediately notice a similarity to Carpenter's acclaimed film due to its secluded backdrop. Yet instead of a base lost in a snowstorm, the narrative unfolds with a hazardous U.S. Army base situated in the South Pacific, which was started in 2016. And Dr. Carell has refined a supercomputer that operates using biotechnology, which he showcases to General Axton and the Quest team for their first time activation. The computer, enclosed within a massive glass tube and resembling merely a wall of human tissue, is a spectacle to observe. However, the process of activating the system is hastily executed, resulting in an overload. The biocomputer then manages to amass enough energy to escape its confinement and appears to have killed General Axton, Dr. Carell, and two guards, adopting a tactic reminiscent of The Thing. The grotesque entity replicates Dr. Carell's hand and eye to penetrate deeper into the facility. As events unfold, the unsettling juxtaposition between the monstrous form and human characteristics becomes increasingly chilling. In this situation, Singh resembles senior biologist Blair in that they both utilize computer simulations to monitor the actions of a powerful entity. However, unlike regular security tests, this biocomputer simulation is employing real-world weapons and commands, which may involve sub-oceanic nuclear missiles hidden beneath the base. When given the opportunity to destroy this creature, Jonny warns his companions not to use lethal force. If the creature is eliminated, so will be Jonny's father, Benton, who has been absorbed by the monster at that particular moment. In the spirit of a movie enthusiast, I rephrase it like this. Just as the sense of unease escalated in the 1982 film, something similar unfolds in this 22-minute job. The relentless spread of the contagion seems unstoppable, with innocent individuals somehow implicated. Although the real adventures of Jonny Quest doesn't dive deep into psychological turmoil, it effectively conveys the gravity of the situation at hand. As the story progresses, we learn that the monster has Washington, D.C. in its sights, a choice reminiscent of the defense simulations procedure. What stands out throughout this series and this episode in particular is the palpable suspense it manages to create. So, in a desperate bid to prevent the villain from triggering a nuclear disaster, Benton's bodyguard shouts from a narrow window in the door. In a chilling climax, an animated scene unfolds where General Axton and Dr. Carroll emerge from their grotesque mutations, seemingly saved for maximum impact. Their heads laugh menacingly at the main character as they seem connected by a thin gray membrane, making the scene even more terrifying. Ponder how the kids might have felt when first watching this show, anticipating a thrilling adventure with beloved characters, but instead encountering such a disturbingly gruesome sight. And though the medium of animation softens the fear, witnessing human heads hanging by what resembles a string of human flesh is an image that lingers vividly, much like graphic violence in John Carpenter's films. The only distinction between the two experiences is that one is designed for children and the other for adults. On a lighter note, who needs a horror movie when you can just watch a cartoon, right? If you want to compare the two for yourself, the